Hey everyone, and welcome to this explainer. Today, we're unpacking a topic that is absolutely foundational to our digital future, which is the data engine, fueling Asian AI ecosystems. As we go through these concepts today, I really want you to keep one core metaphor in your head. Building an AI ecosystem is exactly like engineering a massive, high-performance mechanical engine. You can design the absolute most sophisticated algorithms in the world, but without the right fuel, well, it's basically just an incredibly expensive paperweight. So the crucial point is that no AI system can function without quality data. We honestly get so distracted by the magic of AI, the slick interfaces, the amazing generative text, those seemingly intelligent human-like responses, that we kind of forget the cold deterministic nature of the machine itself. If you strip away all that magic, you reveal its absolute, undeniable dependence on data. Data is the fuel. If you don't have it, the engine literally does not start. Here is exactly how we're going to methodically unpack this today. First, data as the fuel for AI. Second, the foundations of data strategy. Third, we'll look at Asian AI case studies. And finally, mapping your data ecosystem. Okay, let's dive into this. Section 1, data as the fuel for AI. This is the non-negotiable prerequisite for absolutely any system you want to build. Before we even start talking about complex neural networks or strategy, we have to establish the baseline, which is quality data. Think about it. You wouldn't pour crude, contaminated oil into a $1 million sports car, right? For AI, quality means data that is cleanly structured, accurately labeled, and properly formatted. It's the old saying, feed the system garbage and it will confidently output garbage. You absolutely need a high-octane, refined resource to get high-performance output. That brings us right to Section 2. Foundations of data strategy. Because just like crude oil out of the ground, raw data requires some serious refining before it can be safely used. To refine that fuel, we really rely on 3 foundational pillars: data collection, data governance, and ethical use. Try to think of these not as, boring bureaucratic hurdles, but as the ultimate fail-safes for your system. They process the raw materials and basically keep your highly sensitive AI engine from sputtering out or causing a complete catastrophe. Let's move to and see how this builds. First is collection. Now, this is not just about blindly hoarding digital footprints into some massive, chaotic data swamp. It's the highly methodical gathering of targeted raw materials. It means setting up robust APIs and clean ingestion pipelines so your system gets exactly the fuel it needs. Because if your collection pipelines are sloppy, well, your entire ecosystem is compromised from day one. Once you actually have the fuel, you need governance. I know that sounds like corporate jargon, but really think of it as the structural integrity of your system. It's the active pipelines, the high-pressure valves, and the filters managing your assets. Without active governance, your fuel leaks or gets totally contaminated. Good governance ensures the data routes exactly to where it needs to be, securely and accurately. And our third pillar is ethical use. This acts as your necessary safety protocols, essentially the seatbelts and the braking systems, because these AI engines operate in the real world and handle incredibly sensitive information. We have to ensure technical safeguards are in place for privacy and system integrity. It prevents critical data breaches and ensures the engine operates reliably and, most importantly, safely for the end users. All right, Section 3, Asian AI case studies. Let's shift from theory to reality and look at how these engines operate out in the wild at massive scale. And this brilliantly illustrates our point. We are going to contrast 2 completely different deployments from the region: Malaysia's MySejahtera app versus the big data platforms utilized by regional banks. Looking at these 2 side by side really shows you how adaptable the data engine can be across entirely different environments. Let's look at the first case study. Malaysia's MySejahtera app is just an incredible example of speed and sheer scale. Built initially for contact tracing, it required safely collecting and governing data for millions of daily check-ins almost overnight. Just think about the engineering feat of scaling that cloud architecture instantly. This was an AI engine running at incredibly high RPMs during a crisis, and it relied entirely on the rapid influx of high-volume public data to function. Now, contrast that rapid overnight mobilization with the approach of Asian regional banks. They are leveraging big data platforms specifically for risk prediction. So instead of sudden scaling, this is all about hyper-calculated precision. They're feeding their engines years of deeply governed historical transactional data and alternative credit scoring metrics to predict defaults and assess market risks. It's a steady, continuous torque relying on absolute data structure. So 2 vastly different engines, but one vital requirement: refined data. Finally, Section 4, mapping your data ecosystem. It is time to put on your mechanics overalls and audit your own organization. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is how it asks you to look inward. What is hindering your AI success? If your organization's outputs are underwhelming, don't automatically blame the algorithm first. Look at the fuel lines. Is your data trapped in legacy silos? Is it entirely unstructured? Are there broken APIs just gunking up your engine and preventing the flow of quality information? To fix those roadblocks, here is a very practical, actionable two-step mandate you can take on today. Step 1. Map your organization's data ecosystem. Build a clear, honest blueprint of where your data originates, exactly how it's structured, and who has access. Step 2. Identify the gaps. Find where the pipelines leak and where governance is failing. Tie this right back to those 3 pillars we talked about: collection, governance, and safe use, to methodically audit your entire strategy. I want to leave you with this final provocative thought. If you had to run a mission-critical AI model tomorrow, would your data pipelines hold up, or would they just crack under the pressure? Stop obsessing over the shiny algorithms and start obsessing over your fuel. Go find those missing gaps, fix your pipelines, and get your engine running. Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer, and keep learning.